Good morning to all of you. Final year students, anyone wants to ask anything regarding our previous class? Anyone having anything to ask regarding previous class? चलो आगे का शुरू करते हैं. I think we have discussed regarding occupation in our accessory circumstances. So in the discussion of accessory circumstances and its importance in case taking, we have discussed till the part of occupation, and I have described you regarding the different aspect to consider occupation in your case taking in last class. Not only the direct or materialistic hazards of occupation, direct impact of occupation, rather your psychological aspect and impact of occupation, occupation as job satisfaction, occupation as an irritation. These all factors I have discussed in the last class. So today let's move to the next point, that is called mode of living and habit. As we frequently face that certain type of situation, certain type of conditions, certain type of environmental changes that either maintain certain type of diseases or it is responsible for causing certain type of disease condition, or in long term it tends to produce you certain type of permanent damage to your health. Just for example, if we see remedy like Dalkamara, natrum sulf, in which most of the complaint, most of the diseases of those medicines are especially suited for those type of individual, those type of persons who reside in the places where there is dampness, where there is excess of, you can say, excess of water content, marshy districts, areas which are having almost in maximum time of the year having a high humidity. Those who are residing nearby the seasides, or you can also include those type of individual, especially of hydrogenoid constitution. Hydrogenoid constitutions are those type of individual, we can relate it with our psychotic constitution. They are very much susceptible to environmental dampness. We are very much susceptible to watery content of our food or environment or our residing places. If those type of individual persist to stay in those type of environment, no matter how good your selection of remedy is there, those patients will not get longer relief. Your remedy will relieve the patient, no doubt, but again the complaint will return back. In such circumstances, we must have to remove the patient from those environment and treat them properly. And if their constitution is able to adapt those type of situation, then they can come back to the original places, or certain type of individual, if they are not able to adapt themselves, then it is always better for them to leave those types of situations or those type of places. Mode of living and habit not only include our environmental factor only. Habit include your dietary patterns also. Habit include your different type of addictions also. We frequently in our cases in our clinic face certain type of persons that is having different type of problem in their oral cavity. Just one example I would like to share. One 18 years old male complain of difficulty in opening the mouth properly. He is not able to open the mouth properly. Only your three finger is not able to insert in the mouth. His maximum opening capacity is just 1.5 finger, you can say. 2 finger is also not capable of, you are not capable of inserting in him. He has a difficulty in opening the mouth. As well as after examination, I got that there is white changes, leukoplakial changes occurring in the posterior part of the buccal cavity. On inquiry, I found that because also there is so much dirty marks on the teeth also. He is in a habit of taking this so-called pan masala and gutka. This is again a part of his habit. This is like a part of his addiction. What do you think? Whatever may be your best selection of remedy, if he is not ready to discontinue this intake of gutka or pan masala, you will never be able to cure those patients. Rather, the disease condition will continuously increasing in that condition. And it is very frequently that he may develop malignancy in that changes. And it is one of the early indication of the malignancy. If this stage just there is changing in the color of this buccal cavity, if patient comes to you and if he is ready to discontinue his habit, then you have good options for treatment without letting the patient to go into the development of malignancy. But if he is not discontinuing this habit, he will definitely go into the state of malignancy. There are certain type of dietic intake that patient is taking it unknowingly or in notions that it is not harming his condition, but in an excessive way. And especially so many other things that patient is certain type of this oral pan masala product, they don't have one of the content that in Hindi we can say having no tobacco or zarda nahi hota. Certain type of people says isme tobacco nahi hai, it will not harm. But again, those type of products, if they are taking in a very excessive way, even जिसको हम हिंदी में क्या बोलते हैं कसैली, जो पान में यूज होता है और बहुत लोग उसको सुपारी भी बोलते हैं, उसको एक स्वीटेंड फॉर्म में यूज करते हैं सुपारी. This sweetened supari is having no jarda, no tobacco, and people says that it is not harmful, but still it has a great impact on your health. One example I am giving you, a live case. A few years back, I have seen one person having a big swelling of his mastoid muscles. And it was supposed to be he has diagnosed with some other physician as a tumor of mastoid muscles, one side. and he has taken the medicine for so many years from different physicians, including allopathy, homeopathy, and some other doctors suggest for surgery, but it is not possible for him to go for the surgery because of certain conditions. His muscles was not able to be removed, and there is deformation of the buccal cavity. After inquiring these all during my case taking, what I noticed that he is from a very long period in a habit of taking this sweet supari, and he is in a habit of regularly just putting it as you have a hard thing to masticate. And this process, जिस तरह से आप डंबल उठा के अपना डेल्टोइड बनाते हो, मसल्स बना रहे हो, it act as if this habit of him is one of the important factor for giving his hardness to the mastoid muscles of him. And he was only relieved, very much relieved. It was not properly 100% better, but almost 60-70% of his swelling disappeared. When I got to know this habit, I have discontinued this habit and treated him for at least 2 years, and more than 50%, at least from outside, the visibility of this tumor was disappeared. And before that, even he has taken the good medicine, he has taken the well-selected medicine, but he has not discontinued because either for him, he has not disclosed to his physician earlier, or even he himself was not in consideration that it is not harming. But this supari or whatever say nuts, this is in a constant habit. एक और चीज बता रहे हैं, इसको छोड़ दो. One person is having a tendency of frequent biting his teeth whenever he has some emotional up and down. This emotional up and down and biting the teeth together in many a times that you may frequently noticed in case of a Staphylococcus personality. One of the very important symptom of a Staphylococcus, if those who have Tricha medica, that sensitiveness to teeth, cold drinks, ice cream. If you take ice cream or cold drink, it hurts your teeth. Even cold water hurts your teeth. Even in most cases, if you draw the air inside, this coldness of air is also going to harm your teeth. It's also going to produce a sensitiveness of teeth. This is very important symptom of Staphylococcus. One part of this is no doubt it is an important symptom of Staphylococcus, but in this case, one of the part of his habit you must have to inquire also whether he is in a habit of this biting the teeth together whenever he is having an emotional impact. This biting of teeth strongly also damages the outer layer of his teeth. If it is in a prolonged habit, if he is in a prolonged habit of doing this, it harms the teeth, and you will not be able to relieve this symptom of the patient if you will not advise properly to avoid this type of habit with different ways. So this biting of teeth together, very important symptom. As a symptom, if you consider, it is one of the important symptom of podophyllum. But this, if it produces sensitiveness to your teeth, now this sensitiveness is a very important symptom of Staphylococcus. Although we have a concomitant symptom that having a tendency to bite the teeth together and patient feels better after that, it is a good symptom of podophyllum. So mode of living, in short, either your geographical environment, either your circumstances of your home. Just for example, if we are living in those type of flat where there is very least exposure to or way for incoming of open air, ventilations proper नहीं है, sunlight proper नहीं आ रहा है. These are also very important condition. हम अच्छे से रह रहे हैं and we are not taking, we are having a very good environment in the family, but our internal environment in the house is not properly ventilated from outside. In those conditions, in a prolonged way, also it harms our health in a many different ways. Those conditions in which we have different type of dietary habits is also having our impact on the health. Those type of substances that we name in the form of addictions is also a part of our habit that must be taken care during case taking. केस टेकिंग के एग्जाम्पल में आपको एक ये एफ्रोजम दिखाएंगे. जस्ट रीड दिस एफ्रोजम नंबर 94 of your case taking part, organ of medicine. How important this is, just to see this aphorism while inquiring into the state of chronic disease. Especially he is saying regarding chronic disease, the particular circumstances of the patient with regard to his ordinary occupation, his mode of living, diet, his domestic situation, and so forth, must be well considered and scrutinized. Well considered and scrutinized. This mind, this word, scrutinized. Why to scrutinize? To ascertain what there is in them that may tend to produce or maintain the disease. Why? Because in order that by their removal, the recovery may be prompted. Again, if you see aphorism number 77, where Hahnemann is saying regarding pseudo-chronic disease. And if you are taking a case of chronic disease and you have not considered this aphorism, you will continue your effort to treat the patient with whatever your good knowledge of materia medica is there, but you will not be able to remove or relieve your patient, remove his suffering for a longer duration, for a more better time of duration. Sometimes even you will not be able to relieve them temporarily also. If you are good enough in this aphorism, most of the time, by just simply prescribing placebo, and you have managed it very well, you will be able to relieve your patient for a maximum part of his suffering. Nowadays, major part of the suffering of the patient is related to his way of living, his mode of life, his dietary irregularities. Just for example, I would like to say most of the families in our Asian countries, and even if you go to the village side, they have one type of food for children, for the adult in the family, and for the elder in the family. One cooking, we all sit together, we all have it. What do you think? If you have studied your physiology and pathology, I think you must have studied the need of nutrition, the need of the different part of dietetic factor. You can say the need of protein, the need of carbohydrate, the need of minerals is equal in all the three stages of life. It is equal equally required all the thing in equal pattern in the children, in the adult, or in the younger citizens. But we all having no notice of this. We all have same type of pattern. This is again one of the very important part to get aware of this. One of the very important saying in those type of motivational speakers, they used to say, if you have better awareness, then you have better options. And if you have better options, then you will get better results. So very first thing is, you must have better awareness. If you have no knowledge, if you are not aware of this thing, then there will be no need for choice or to choose to select different things. And if you have no choice, then it is not going to impact the result. So it is also important, you must know, you must aware yourself, and you can say better awareness will give you better choices, and better choices will give you better result. Why I'm saying this? Because for lifestyle, for way of living, for our habits, most of the time we follow the customs of our family, we follow the custom of our society, we follow the customs of that is going on. ये होता आ रहा है हमारे घर में, ये होता आ रहा है हमारे सोसाइटी में, चलता आ रहा है, and इसको कंटिन्यू रख रहे हैं. और यही पैटर्न होता है कि बहुत सारी चीजें, बहुत सारी बीमारियां जो कि जेनेटिक नहीं है, वो भी हम कैरी फॉरवर्ड करते चले आ रहे हैं, बिकॉज वी आर नॉट रेडी टू चेंज the habits, we are not ready to change the mode of living of our family. Why we are not ready to change? Because we are not aware of it, because we don't know the impact of this. Just you can have a survey, how many families in our country are going for a regular exercise or regular yoga. Have a calculation. What do you think? At a certain, after a certain age, are not these things going to impact their health? Up to certain age, we feel it no problem by not doing this. But as the age advances, or you can say just after 35 and 40, we will face that whatever we have lost of not doing in a regular way of exercise, regular way of yoga, then suddenly after just 35 and 40, we will face the need of that, and our working stamina, our health, our muscles power will react as if we are in a stage of 60. And then we go to the doctor that for this treatment, and your medicine will not work properly until and unless. Still from this time, he begins to start this type of practices which are very required. One important factor that I would like to say you here, if you have studied Hahnemann's aphorism regarding to the intermittent fever, in which in aphorism number 242, 3 and 4, and especially 43, 44, when Hahnemann is saying regarding the persons who is residing in Marsi district and regarding their health, first thing he is describing regarding those individuals to decide their miasmatic influence of the impact of disease. And he is saying that even those person who is having a good exercise, well regulated lifestyle, still he is suffering. If he is having a good proper lifestyle, good proper regular exercise, that means maintaining his health, properly, even after that, if he is suffering, then he is saying that there is impact of miasm. Just have a look of this aphorism in other words. If you are not doing proper exercise, if you are not doing a regulated lifestyle, if you are not doing a proper dietic pattern, then it is never clear that whether this disturbance, whether this disease is due to miasmatic factor, or it is due to the original real disease, or it is due to your fault. And if it is your fault, medicine is never going to cure it. If it is your fault, medicine is never going to help you. No matter how much you will cry with your knowledge of Materia Medica, you will not able to relieve your patient. And ultimately you will blame homeopathy doesn't work. It is not so. It is not the fault of homeopathy. Rather, it is in the part of homeopath to identify, to separate with the knowledge of aphorism number 77 and aphorism number 11. I will again here give you these two aphorisms, 77 and 11. 11 will guide you to identify the natural disease, the disease which require homeopathic medicine, the condition which will be cured by your homeopathic medicine, the condition which you will remove with help of your medicine. But again, 77, it will guide you those type of condition where your medicine will not going to help you. No matter how much you blame homeopathy, but homeopathy is showing you that here you need correction, not medication. You need management, not medication. You need improvement, not medication. So you must differentiate each of your chronic disease that is coming to you for the help, that whether it is medicine is required or whether here management is required. Most of the time, both together may be required. But even in those situations, if you will do only one thing, then only certain part of the patient will improve. And that is why nowadays, the mixed utilization of medicine with management is required. And that is nowadays one of the very important factor that we must include. Every homeopath must be aware of or having a referral factor for their patient, that those chronic cases that comes to you, you must advise them a proper regulated way of life, either by advising proper exercise, proper yoga, or other natural activities that will help their health to improve, that will help their quality of life to improve. And if you will associate these things with your practice for your patient, then you must be sure that even with placebo, you are going to relieve your patient for more than 30–40%. And rest is the part of your medicine and your way of prescription. But by proper advice, you will relieve your patient up to a certain part of his conditions. So once again, I would like to suggest you with these aphorism number 11 as well as aphorism number 77, you must also study Hahnemann's lesser writing for final year and PG. it is advisable that in this stage you can study the lesser writing of Honeyman, especially the writings, the chapter that is called Friends of Health, as well as one more chapter that is called Asclepius in Balance. These two chapters will help you for yourself also to improve your health, to improve your condition, as well as it is highly important for managing your case, managing your patient whenever these factors are required. And not only this, all these accessory circumstances factor is required. And so these chapter will help you very much. Why I'm going to refer you this help, because if you will study this Friends of Health, you will find that Honeyman has advised that exercise is good for health, as well as exercise is causing diseases to you or your patient also. Why? It need balance. It need, again, how much your constitution is requiring this. That is important. If you are not doing this, then it is cause for disease. But if your constitution is not able to tolerate this much, and if you are having exercise beyond that, again it will harm your health. So in the same column, he has given both exercise is bad for health and exercise is good for health. The difference is you have to justify in each individual how much it is required. In that chapter, you will find 15 points. अगर आप पढ़ोगे पढ़ के आओगे तो कभी डिस्कस करेंगे, in which it is again justification for each case, not for the whole. Each part is again individualized for whom how much is required. It is not that everything is required for everyone and it is unlimited. Rest is good for health, rest is bad for health. Again, it demands circumstances, situation, and individualization where it is how much required. I think we have just 30 seconds left. So we will continue it in our next class. And I'm not asking you again question, we will, because you are so intelligent enough that no one having any question. So better to restrict myself. Thank you very much.